about a dollar. I'm about a dollar. I'm about a dollar. This is the What's Next podcast, Houston's #1 platform where I invite creators to share their journeys and give us a depiction of their visions. Most importantly, the last question I'll ask is, what's next? Episode 122, y'all. Episode 122, year 7. It's been a long time. Shout out to my goddaughter, Emery Joelle Rideau. Birthday today. Let's go. Walk with me. Episode 122, first episode, Virgo season. To the Willie nigga. Uh-oh. Who buy them bottles and then they spill these liquor. Yo, salute my dude. Five bottles, one dick. I know I'm out of line, but love is
John Ross Dyke first, founder of Still Visionary Inc. What's Next podcast, dropping every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Welcome back to episode 122 of the What's Next podcast, a production of Still Visionary Inc. That's WHATSNEXT exclamation question mark, no apostrophe between that T and that S. Welcome back to episode 122 of the What's Next podcast, a production of Still Visionary Inc. My name is
John Ross Dyke first, founder of Still Visionary Inc. and creator of the What's Next podcast, dropping every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at John Ross Dyke and Still_Visionary. Also the What's Next pod _ on IG. If you will, connect with me on LinkedIn, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my fan page on Facebook, and visit my website at stillvisionary.com directly in front of you. I have all the merch that I sell on my podcast, out the trunk of my car, and on my website. And you can shop stillvisionary.com/merch. Listen, man, episode 122, year 7. Last week was the first week of the 7th year of my educating career. And so I wanted to podcast on that Monday leading into drop day on Tuesday, but I'm not going to lie, I was a little lazy, unmotivated. And I said, okay, I'll push it back to Saturday. And then I said, damn, if I push it back to Saturday, then I won't drop on Tuesday. And the name of my brand that that I'm working and learning how to embroider for, well, I'm lying. The name of my brand that I'm trying to push later on this year, maybe even top of next year, is Every Tuesday, where I'm supposed to drop every Tuesday, right? But it's been difficult this year, leading back all the way up until the softball season in the 2020-2021 school year. And throughout the summer, it was difficult, and even starting the school year, it was difficult. So it's just been difficult all the way around. And so I want to try to turn a new leaf. So this is episode 122, year 7. I'm back. Round of applause. Lot to celebrate. So my baby brother, Lance Bobby Dyke, he moved to Washington, D.C. And I said, damn. If any one of my mother's kids was to move, I thought it was going to be me. I thought I'd be the first one to move. He moved. And it got me into my bag. Not that I was going to miss him, because I could always get on a flight and go and catch him in D.C. But the fact that, we're getting older. That's what my sister said the other day. She was supposed to be going on a traveling job. Pardon me. She was supposed to be going on a traveling job. And so 2 of my mother's 4 kids would have been gone from the city of Houston, Texas. I started to think to myself, damn, the foundation of our family, my younger brother, my younger sister, the foundation of our family up and leaving. Pay attention to that word foundation. It's going to be important this episode. So up and leaving, I said to myself, well, damn, I gotta get reacclimated and closer to my younger brother, the brother that I grew up with. We went to elementary school and junior high together. I gotta get reacclimated with him. So we've been texting back and forth, and he actually put me on this real estate transaction that I was trying to make my first transaction, but it did not work out. But it was okay. We're trying to I'm trying to text him more. We're trying to text more, talk more, and just be better brothers to each other. Well, let me say on my part, because I think I don't want to speak for him, but my younger brother left. My younger sister was getting ready to leave. So I started thinking to myself, damn, everybody is up and moving. Everybody is leveling up. What about me? What about me? So the whole reason why I didn't go out with my brother to move him out to DC was because I thought that year 7 was starting a little earlier. Right, I was supposed to go out to DC, catch the train up to Philly, link up with my man who's getting married next year. Shout out to my man, Josh Ryan Belize. I was supposed to link up with him in Philly, go back to Lancaster with his fiance, Lauren, soon to be Belize. And we were supposed to kick it, and I was supposed to come on back. But then I went and got that vaccine before, and so my second dose was supposed to be on the 13th, y'all. And I'm not here to advocate that. I'm just saying I got the vaccine because a lot of people were getting sick, and I didn't want to get sick, and the school year was starting back up. Year 7 was starting back up, and it was going to be unlike year 6. It was going to be every kid was coming back. Every kid was going to come back in the classroom. So now I'm used to a classroom of 3 to 4 kids, with the other 21 kids online. Now it's going to be all 25 in the classroom. So my mother got on the horn and she started yelling at me and nagging, get the vaccine, get the vaccine. So I buckled and I got the vaccine. Right. Yeah, man. Year 7. I'm saying that a lot because, at a point in time, I was thinking to myself, man, I can't believe I've made it this far. I made it this far to my 7th year in education. And I was thinking to myself, damn, how did I get here? How did I get here? Because originally the plan was to do 4 years and I would reassess after 4 years. That was going to be the class of 2019. I would reassess after 4 years, and my path would be different. My path would be different. And I was just like, those 4 years came and went. They came and went so fast. One time I'm looking up and she was on my live. Jasmine Kearney, one of my favorites. When I met her, she was 14? She was 14, maybe 14. And, she did not finish off her senior year at Walter, but, she was a baby. Graduated 17, turned 18. And there goes her first class. The second class came after, 2020. Saw them go and live. So I'm thinking to myself, man, I am still here. I am still here. Fast forward year 6. Now I'm in year 7 and I'm in the auditorium this summer during professional development. And my principal comes up to me and he says, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm well, sir. How are you? And he's like, I'm good. I'm good. He said, I'm excited. He said, I'm excited. I said, okay. He said, are you ready? I said, I'm ready. He says, I think this is the year. I think you are my ace in the hole. I said to myself, wow. Now, we've had interactions, me and him, before, but never to the point where he was open like that. Here's a story. For those of you that have been following, you guys know that I'm a math teacher, right? The first 2 years of my educating career, I was an Algebra 1 teacher. The narrative was he failed too many kids. And this is the same narrative that I took to the new class, the class of 2025. We spoke the first day of school. I said, listen, it's not my intention to fail anybody. I asked the kids, what does that mean? They said, they looked around, a little dumbfounded. They looked around. I said, what am I saying to you? They said, well, you don't fail anybody. I said, okay, well, what does that mean? He said, well, the kids fail themselves. Listen, the narrative about me is that I've always failed kids, which is not true. It's not true. It's just flat out not true, right? So, the Algebra 1 team has had some ups and downs in the past 7 years that I've been there. Let me say this. In the past, I've been at Waltrip 8, I've taught 7, and I've coached 6. So in those 7 years of teaching, let's say 5 of those years, the algebra team, 4 of those years, the algebra team has had like an up and down school year. So my team lead, the department lead comes to me and says, hey, man, I need you in Algebra 1. I said, listen, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen unless you give me 7th and 8th period off. He says, no, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. Why? Because you can't have 2 athletic periods off. And on top of that, it really depends on the flow of the kids. If a lot of kids need the 8th period section of math, then what are we going to do? I said, man, listen, I don't know if I can teach Algebra 1 because there's so much pressure. It's so much pressure relying on that subject. It's a foundational, remember that word, foundational course in math in high school. So if you don't have the right personnel there, these kids don't learn anything. This is all that I shared with my kids the first day of school last week on the 23rd, the start of Virgo season. By the way, hold on. Let's give a moment of silence for the great Kobe Bean Bryant Mamba who passed away last year. Yeah, so rest in peace and happy belated birthday to the great Kobe Bryant. His birthday actually starts Virgo season. Happy birthday to Michael Jackson. My niece would love that. Happy 63rd birthday to Michael Jackson. And happy birthday to my goddaughter, my niece, my baby, Emery Rideau. Happy birthday to you, baby girl. So what was I saying? So that's the same thing that I shared with my kids. That it's not my intention to fail anybody. It's not my intention to fail anybody. Listen, if you fail the class, you fail the class because you're not prepared. And so when my principal comes to me and he's like, listen, I think you're going to be my ace in the hole. I'm thinking to myself, holy crap. I'm back in Algebra 1, which would make 3 years I've taught Algebra 1, 4 years I taught Algebra 2, but I'm back in the foundation of high school math. Algebra 1. They don't pass Algebra 1. It's going to be a hard journey for them. They put me back in. I don't get 8th period off, right? But they put me back in for some stability, somebody who's a pillar at Waltrip. There's been people that have been there a lot longer than me, right? But let me not say pillar because pillar's a strong word. Somebody who will not waver, will not walk out in the middle of the year. Me. Somebody who is going to stay firm in what they believe and stand there and see the year through. They put me back in the classroom in Algebra 1, and I'm thinking to myself, wow. I'm thinking to myself, that is a lot to the pressure. I mean, here it is. Here it is. He says to me, hey, I think you're my ace in the hole. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so, yeah, year 7 starts off with me back in Algebra 1, right? It also started off with me not coaching volleyball, right? So I had so many mixed feelings last week, excited, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, damn, something's missing. I'm here. I'm walking around. I got so much free time. something is missing, right? Something is missing. And it led me to this. Care less about who you are as a person. And I don't want that to sound rough. Well, fuck it. I don't care who you are as a person. Right? Because I'm sorry. When we get wrong one. Here it is right here. How you feel, man? If you could define yourself in one word, what would that word be? How you feel?
Oh man, one word. Pressed.
Right.
Pressed. The reason why I would say pressed, and, you know, anybody that has been on our platform to build in any way, shape, or form, y'all know,
right?
I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm not gonna.
John Ross Dyke first, founder of Still Visionary Inc. and
because
podcast, dropping every Tuesday at 6 p.m.
in
Central
every
Standard
area
Time.
of my life, I want more.
There was something missing. Here I am. I'm, walking into the 7th year. 7 is the number of completion. As a Mason, I understand what the word said, what the number 7 signifies. I understand what it signifies. I understand what it means. I understand wholeheartedly what Kings of Israel told me what it meant, what it means, but I want more. I want more. And I don't know if it's, I don't know. Year seven, I was just like, man, if I'm not careful, if I don't, start to write my goals down and see myself accomplishing them, because, and I'll explain in a second, man, I could get trapped. I could become a career educator. And is that really for me? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, here I am, when I look into a room, when I see interactions on campus, I see something different. I see where the camera should be. I see, jibs up and down. I see production. I see silver screen. But is this really for me? Year 7 will turn to year 8. We'll turn to year 9. We'll turn to 10 years. I got into the classroom at 30 and made 31 that year. So am I gonna be here past my 40s? Am I gonna be in a classroom in my 40s teaching school? My kid grows up and says, my dad is a teacher at Waltrip High School. I said to myself, I don't know. I don't know. How you feel, man? I don't know. If you could define yourself in one word, I feel pressed. What would that word be? How you feel? If I could define myself in one word, it would be pressed.
Oh man, one word.
Pressed.
Pressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pressed.
Yeah.
The reason why I would say pressed, and, anybody that has been on our platform, build in any way, shape, or form, y'all know I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm not gonna fake the funk. I say pressed because in every area of my life, I want more.
If I could define myself in one word, it would be pressed. Because in every area of my life, I want more. Shout out to my man Chris Hunter. Let me say this. Let me say this. I want more, but in every area of my career, yeah, I want more. In every area of my career, I want more. And I found myself walking into year 7 with that thought in mind, like, okay, I let go of volleyball. What is next to let go of? Right. And I don't know if it leads into what's next for me, but Habakkuk 2:2-3 says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. You do what you do for yourself to prove you can do it for others. Even though the year of perfect vision needed corrective lenses, your vision was never out of focus. You remained still. You remained determined. Kobe said, "The Mamba mentality is the attention to detail and the level of commitment. Run your race because you got time. Keep the momentum. Believe in your story, a creative story. Remember, never stay comfortable while trusting the process. Be innovative in your 720 hours. There will be stumbling blocks. You just keep pushing. Most importantly, what's next? Continue to drop."
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Yeah, the song that's on my mind, the greatest MC of all time, Nas, Ben Olu-Dara, Jones, born September 14th, 1973. Dropped his 13th or 14th project, LP. I think it might be his 14th LP, entitled King's Disease 2 on August the 6th, 2021. He dropped his 14th LP. It might be 14. First record on the LP is entitled The Pressure. That's the song that's on my mind. Because the pressure weighs a ton. The pressure to know that the window in which you have this freedom to kind of like, go with the wind, is closing, right? And so, for me, it was one of those things where, and it's one of those things where I think about it daily. Like, I enjoy, and that's what it was. That's what it is. What's kept me in education for so long is the fact that the way the kids look up at you, the glare in their eyes when you coach, it's the same glare that I see when I coach as well. They look at you for a moment's time. You have their utmost attention, their singular attention. And it's the attention that, that I have not been able to acquire from my people, my homeboys, homegirls, people that quote unquote, call me friend, with this whole movement, you know what I mean? But then again, it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta work till they notice you. And the kids, you're talking about 13, 14, 15-year-olds. When you talk to them and you're firm in what you say, it's like law. And they eat up every word. And, it's one of those things where a ninth grader was telling me, well, you do a podcast? And that's what the real reason I was like, man, when am I going to get back to it? Because I'm telling kids I'm a podcaster, and they're like, oh, what's the name of your podcast? Or where can I watch? Where can I stream it at? Where can I watch it? You give them all this information. You say I drop every Tuesday. Then they're just like, oh, okay. Well, is your podcast on TikTok? And I'm like, oh God, another social media platform. Another social media platform to account for. And I'm like, no, it's not. But, and then I said to myself, I'm telling them that it's not on TikTok, but at the same time, I have not dropped an episode on Tuesdays like I profess that I do. So, yeah, man, year 7 it hasn't even really begun yet, Year 7, at the beginning of the school year, I counted that we have 186 days in this school year, and I do that every year to equate the time that I have working versus and the time that I have working in that salary provided for that allotted time versus the remaining of the year and what I can make in that year to complement my salary as an educator. So, it comes out to be about 50 point something percent, 51% of the year I'm at HISD, which is a little more because, I coach and, find myself more on the softball field from time to time. And then when you add in the time that games happen and all of that, it works out to be a lot. So I would say somewhere around 70% of the year is spent in education at Waltrip Senior High School, right? So, the very first day of school, I went inside the closet and I pulled out my Jordan 5s, the Off-Whites. I put them on. I said, I'm going to be the freshest. I'm going to have the freshest sneakers on today. I'm going to have the freshest sneakers on today. And I'm going to do this for the kids because I know they're watching. I put the sneakers on. Walk in the building. Kids already noticing the shoes. Like, dang, Mr. Dyke, you did that. I said, yeah. I took a picture early in the morning. You know, that first day of school picture that a lot of kids post, and well, let me say a lot of parents post of their children. I took that picture and put it on the gram. Picture blew up. People liking it that I didn't even know I existed on Instagram. Can't buy a like from these people. I can't buy a like from these people, but they see the sneakers the first day and they like the picture. 20-some comments. I'm just like, yo, this is not my page. This never really happens to me. People want me to win so much as an educator, and I want to win as an actor, as an entrepreneur, as a fashion person. You know, I got a long way to go. This is the second season that I put my logo on these polos, these dry fit polos. The logo's smaller than it was last year. Went ahead and put it on these shorts as well too. These shorts right here, ladies and gentlemen, said this on the IG live. These shorts right here are going for $40. Got the logo at the bottom left side of the pants is burgundy. You know, holla at me, man. I'm gonna post this picture on Facebook on Monday. Well, I posted it on Monday. When you're hearing this on Tuesday. So, foundation. The foundation of who I am in this podcast was predicated on being an actor. Being an actor. Being an actor. Having a platform to talk about the intricacies, what the day in the life, what the process was of creating a film, of becoming a character, of living your life and the process of it. You know, this podcast, you know, imagine, I mean, listen, you think of Drake, you think of So Far Gone. People love So Far Gone so much they call it a classic. But for me, I'm not so much in love with the end product. I'm in love with the process. What were you going through? How were you so motivated and moved to write those songs? What was it like trying to get it out to somebody? Because that's where I fall. Trying to get your product that your blood, sweat, and tears are in. How do you get that to people to give it a shot? How do you even get your music from Canada, Toronto, Canada, down to Houston, Texas, Jazz Prince Jr. hear your music, and what is that? What was that like? How did you know that the ball was starting to roll then? You know, if I could ever get to Drake, we wouldn't even talk about nothing but that first project, because that first project, like Nas's first project, catapulted his career. And that is what I created this podcast for. The opportunity for people that don't necessarily have a voice or won't be heard until they make it to come on here and talk about what it is to try to make it, to try to get to that point. The acting for me was what I was doing before with my man Mario Wanzer. Shout out to him. And Visionary Movements LLC. The acting was what I was doing before, right? And so this morning, today is August the 29th, 2021. This morning, I finally mustered up the energy to say to my man, I was talking to my man, talking to my sister, I'm like, hey man, I need headshots. So I went and took actor headshots and also real estate headshots to be able to put on my business card that I have coming, because it's long overdue. I mean, to the core, the foundation of my creative gene, juice, or whatever you have it, whatever you call it, is that of being an actor. It's where I got my start. Poetry, actually, but then acting is where I kind of really fell in love with it. When Jay-Z said it took me 26 years to find my path, yeah. At 26, 27, when I was on stage or doing whatever I was doing acting, I said, man, I could really see myself doing this. And so for me, it's a little different, you know. At the same time of wanting to do this, I also wanted to be in a relationship and, you know, enjoy the company of somebody and have kids and have a house one day. So obviously, you know, being an actor, you know, in Houston, Texas, I'd have to, you know, I'd have to find other means of income and do it on the side. But doing it on the side has subsided and it haven't been seen in that light. And I said to myself, I went to my Actors Access account. I said to myself, well, man, damn, you can't get a project because look at your headshots. You don't have headshots. Can you imagine an actor, a podcaster who says he podcasts and doesn't have a mic? A basketball player does not have a pair of sneakers or basketball to shoot in a hoop. Baseball player, no glove, no nothing. If you say that you're something and you don't have the bare minimum, are you really that? You know? At least if you have a decent headshot, they can say, hey, you know what? Maybe, you know what? Never seen him before, but maybe he might be fit. He looks nice, you know? So I took headshots, and again, man, I took actors' headshots, and my man, I always talk about him on this podcast, and I can't wait for him to produce something so we can sit and talk, because people like him you need in your corner. My man, Jonathan St. Mary, he held me down with the headshots this morning. We went to right over there by right off Allen Parkway. If you're listening from outside of Houston, Texas, Allen Parkway, like right on the other side of downtown. And we took pictures looking at the skyline. And he also took, I took another shirt too, so that I could take acting headshots as well. But my man, St. Mary, always holds me down, man. And I'm so appreciative to have somebody like that in my corner who, you know, has the resources to help me out. You know, I just hate that, you know, I haven't been adamant about utilizing the resources with the cameras and everything. But I appreciate my man, St. Mary, for holding me down with that, because it was long overdue. I was struggling using old pictures, you know. Oh, my God. But the foundation has been laid. Finally got a headshot. I'm back in Algebra 1. I feel pressed for more in my career. And, needed some headshots specifically for acting, but also specifically for my real estate profile, because, you know, I mean, that is the move for me. That is where I'm trying to move to be able to fuel my family and this acting career, right? So today, August the 29th, 2021, we're well in the Virgo season. Few more days, actually a couple more days left in August 2021. We have 124 days left in the 2021 year. And I think that getting the headshots is a great start to ending the third quarter. Ending the third quarter and starting the fourth quarter, like moving, you know. Getting the real estate headshots is good. I can finally update my LinkedIn profile. I can update my still _visionary IG page. Oh, that's by the way, that's where I wanted to go with it. So in my trainings, shout out to my, I'll call her my coach. Brittany Payne is my coach. at Legacy Homes and Properties, and she mentions a lot about marketing yourself. And I thought to myself, when she was talking, I said to myself, man, I can't open up another Instagram page. I already have 3 pages, and 2 I neglect. One I neglect, rather. Or 2 I neglect, right? Every so often I post on the Still_Visionary page, but I can't open up another Instagram page. So what I've decided to do, guys, is filter all my production through my Still_Visionary page. You will see my updated profile pic on that page soon, and that's where I'm going to sell merchandise and press and embroider clothes, and also show homes on that page. It's got about 300 followers, right? So it's better than starting off with nothing, because it is hard to build a fan page or a following from scratch. So I'm not gonna start from scratch. I'm gonna convert that IG page to my real estate and production page as well. Houston, Texas, man. 122 episodes in. I want to say that I don't want to take a break, but I also want to say that, hey, if I can't find anybody, I'm not going to press. I mean, this episode was kind of a reach because, again, my podcast is predicated on the conversation of the how-to, right? So if there's nobody there and I don't have any projects that I'm talking about, it's difficult. But I will be back sometime independently on the podcast to talk about this opportunity that I spoke about Jayla with in episode 121. Shout out to my girl Jayla Jenkins. She put me down with this project that's going to be at Jones Hall. So I'm working on a poem to kind of change my career again, right? And you already know what it is, man. With me, I'm just trying to make it any way I can. I'm trying to make it. Year 7 in HISD, year 8 at Wall Trip, year 6 coaching. This is year whatever as an actor. So, just walk with me. Shout out to the love of my life, Kizzy Danae Farmer Dyke. I love you with all my heart and soul. Shout out to my king, Baby D. Rest in peace to you. Rest in peace to everybody we lost. Happy birthday to my niece. My nephew's birthday, Michael Ethan Farmer's birthday, is on August the 31st. So it's Virgo season through and through. Yo, you already know what time it is, man. Oh, I'm tripping. Most importantly, the last question I'll ask is what's next, and what's next is the fourth quarter. We have September, and I'll be turning 21. In today is the 29th, so we got 2 days, 3 days until the 1st. So in 21 days, I'll be turning 21. September 18th, I'll be turning 21. So what's next is the fourth quarter, and seeing what comes in the fourth quarter. If I can get some acting opportunities, and ending off 2021 on a high note, and 2022 coming with Every Tuesday brand, and more opportunities. Yeah, you already know what time it is, man. Virgo season, we're here. Shout out to all my Virgos, August and September Virgos. I do what I do for myself to prove that I could do it for others, man. You know what that means. I'm here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Everywhere the podcast can be listened to.
John Ross Dyke,
episode 122.
Visionary Inc. and creator of the What's Next podcast.
Year
dropping
7.
every
Walk with
Tuesday
me
at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. John Ross Dyke the First, founder of Still Visionary Inc. and creator of the What's Next podcast. Dropping every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
My crystal ball, I see crystal, I crystal y'all with that. I saw the sign like Ace of Spades, that Ace of Spades, they crack me like cheers to the money guy. The Willie niggas who buy them bottles and then they spill these liquors. I know my dude, I see you dog. 5 bottles, 1 dick, why I need 2 bras? I know I'm out of line, but love is shower time. When your cloud is 9, get on that high ass hussy. This a private party.
First, founder of Still Visionary Inc. and creator of the What's Next podcast, dropping every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.